Alright my peeps, I'm here with some more prediction game videos. This is my simulation, my detailed prediction for the 6-man tag team match that is going to take place this Sunday at Extreme Rules. It is going to be Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns of The Shield versus Batista, Randy, Triple H of Evolution. Evolution has returned, and in their first match back as a team, they're taking on The Shield. First off, isn't it great that The Shield is still a unit and that The Shield is now, or are now, faces? If The Shield had broken up at WrestleMania, which a lot of us, I'd say, thought was going to take place or thought was going to happen, I mean, every indication kind of pointed to maybe The Shield breaking up when you had Reigns and Dean Ambrose arguing all the time, and then Reigns accidentally spearing Dean Ambrose, and what else happened? Seth Rollins left Dean Ambrose and left Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns on Raw against the Wyatt family, and all these problems and miscommunications. You would have thought at WrestleMania that we would have a triple threat match with every single member of The Shield, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose versus Reigns, possibly for Dean's United States Championship. And then if that would have taken place at WrestleMania, we would have probably seen a new United States Champion. So then at Extreme Rules, it would have probably been a rematch. So let's say Reigns would have won the title. Probably would have been Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, and then a rematch for the title. Or maybe a rematch, a triple threat rematch. But I'm glad that The Shield, stayed as a unit. And now, with The Shield as faces, we've got all these new possibilities for matches. Dream matches. I mean, look at this. The Shield versus Evolution. This is awesome. Who would have thought that one day The Shield would actually take on Evolution? I mean, I thought Evolution, we had seen the last of Evolution a couple years ago, and on top of that, The Shield was pretty much working for the Authority. They were working for Triple H, and Shield were heels, Triple H was a heel. And then shortly after, everything turned out perfectly, where you've got The Shield now as faces, you've got Evolutions as heels, including Batista, who had just recently returned. He was a face, so there was no real indication that Evolution would reunite anytime soon, with Triple H and Randy as heels and Batista as a face. It looked more like it was going to be Batista versus Triple H and Randy or Batista versus Randy rather than Batista teaming up with Randy. So it's cool how things have changed, and now it all leads to this. Now, first things first. Well, I do think, and I think I said this in the prediction game video part 1 of Bryan versus Kane, whether The Shield or Evolution win this match this Sunday, I definitely think there's going to be a rematch, just like The Shield versus the Wyatt family, there was a rematch. So, if one team loses here, it doesn't mean they're not going to pick up a victory later on. I mean, The Shield lost against the Wyatt family, twice in a row, but afterwards, eventually they got their win back on an episode of the Main Event. So, I'm thinking they have this match, and then maybe at Payback, they have a rematch. Or maybe the pay-per-view following Payback or something like that. Because I hear Batista will be taking some time off after Extreme Rules. So that's going to be interesting here. So, what's going to happen when Batista takes time off? If a rematch is going to take place, is it going to take place at Payback or after Payback? There's a few possibilities there. But now, as far as Extreme Rules, why am I going with Evolution winning this one? I'd say there's a couple of reasons. One being that this is Evolution's return match. Evolution we haven't seen Evolution as a unit, as a team, since 2005? And here I'm excluding the reunion that Triple H, Batista, and Ric Flair had a couple years ago, when they were all faces. I believe at that time Batista might have been the world champion, and Triple H might have been the WWE champion. No, actually, my bad. I believe Randy was the WWE champion at that time, and either Batista or Triple H was challenging for Randy's championship, and Ric Flair, Batista, and Randy. No, I mean Ric Flair, Batista, and Triple H were reuniting, but it was like one night only. I think it was the three of them versus Edge, Randy, and Umaga. And basically, Batista and Triple H were feuding with Edge and Randy at that time. I exclude that because that was like a one night only thing. It was one match and that was it. And Randy wasn't a part of it. Randy was on the other side. He refused. He didn't want any part of an Evolution reunion. Now things have changed, and with this, like I said, being their first match back as a team, I think they should win this. You know, reestablish that, hey, Evolution, you know, was one of the most dominant factions out there. I mean, they already beat up the Shield the first nights reuniting, but this is their first match. And I think, you know, a good way to start this feud, or start this series of matches, like I said, I think it's going to be a series of matches, you know, not just this one match. I think they should start it off with, you know, the veterans, you know, the veteran team showing that, hey, you know, we were the dominant guys before you guys came in, and now we're still here, or we're back, and just show the Shield that, you know, they're a dominant group and they can be just as strong or maybe even stronger than the Shields. Now, I don't think that Evolution will win this match on their own, actually. I think I said this in my Raw results video. Pretty sure I did. I said Ric Flair, I think, will play a part in this match. A big part. Where I think he'll influence the decision of the match. I think he'll influence the outcome of the match. And lead the winning team to victory. See, on Raw, Ric Flair he aligned himself with the Shield, or he praised the Shield. In the beginning, it looked like he was going to praise Evolution, you know, talked about his days with the Four Horsemen, and comparing those to Evolution, and then talking about power, this and that, and then pretty much, you know, surprising Triple H, Batista, and Randy, and saying that he was talking about the Shield, you know, those are the superstars that display power, and all that stuff Ric Flair was saying. I think that's all a swerve. I think that's all part of Evolution's plan, where Ric Flair just gained, I guess, what was it? I'm looking for a word here. The trust of the Shield. He gained their trust, he shook all their hand, and now it looks like Ric Flair is, you know, not really with Evolution. He's not a heel. He's not against the Shields. So then at Extreme Rules, you could have Ric Flair come out, and then people think, oh, he's out here to, you know, help the Shield or something like that. And then referee has his back turned or whatever, and then maybe he low blows one of the members of the Shield and allows Evolution to beat the Shield. And then we could have a full Evolution return, return/reunion with all four members of Evolution. Because right now it's you know, Triple H, Batista, and Randy, but there's one guy missing, and that is Ric Flair. We need Ric Flair for the full Evolution, so, you know, I'm not only thinking that's going to happen, but I'm also hoping that that's what takes place this Sunday, and Ric Flair, you know, helps Evolution out. Now, with Ric Flair helping Evolution out, I don't see right there. You've got the Shield has an advantage where they've now got a manager. It's kind of 4-on-3 in this case. That's where I think the Shields will bring somebody in, not necessarily as a member of the Shield, but bring in some backup of their own, bring in a manager of their own, somebody to back them up. To even the odds against Evolution and Ric Flair. And I don't know if I want to say who I think they'll bring in. But actually, you know what? I'm going to say it, but before I say it, I'd like to know who you guys think I'm going to mention here. Who do you guys think, if Ric Flair, interferes this Sunday, sides with Evolution, and we have, Ric Flair back in Evolution, who do you, if the Shield then, brings somebody along afterwards to have their back against Ric Flair, to be at ringside with them in a rematch possibly against Evolution, while Evolution has Ric Flair on their side, who do you think the Shield would bring in? Who do you think I have in mind here? I'll let you guys, write your comments, give you guys a couple seconds, let's go, take a guess. It's not too hard of a guess, I'd say. Alright, you guys posted the comments, posted your guesses. Alright, it's time for me to tell you who I think the Shield would then bring in to even out the odds. That person is Hulk Hogan. I think if Ric Flair, like I said, interferes this Sunday, and we get Ric Flair siding with Evolution, it was all, plan or trick to trick the Shield and allow Evolution to win. I think in their next match, the Shield could bring in Hulk Hogan as their backup to be at ringside with them to, neutralize Ric Flair. So, yeah, not only, have I detailed, I guess, my prediction for you guys, but I also, detailed what I think will happen afterwards and, some possible scenarios here. But, yeah, as for my prediction, for my pick, I'm sticking with Evolution winning this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can click that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm out. See you guys.